everyone, Jess here, and today I'm joined with Jason Silverstein from Tango. Thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So firstly, how do you foresee the loyalty and rewards landscape evolving within the airline sector?
Well, at the risk of being a little cheeky, it's a little bit like ChatGPT, where G is globalization, P is personalisation, and T is technology. So the industry has to get more global in the sense of how they think about their passengers and how they think about their employees. There has to be personalization, so you have to be able to handle your passengers and your employees and the people that are working in the industry on a personal basis. And the way to get there is technology. There are so many new technology trends, both across the global landscape, but also in this industry. And so it is a little cheeky, but ChatGPT is the way I think about it.
I like that, it's good shorthand. But so if we unpack that a little bit more, do you weight any of those different from one another? Are they equally important, or do they all add up to the same thing?
I think it's a good question. I think we probably weight them equally because there's so many things that can happen inside of each of those particular containers, right? For globalization, when we think about globalization, we think about people who are traveling, may not be traveling in the country that they're from. And so they may want some type of a reward in the country that they're in at the time, or they may want to hold on to that incentive or that reward and use it back in the country that they're in, that they're from. And so when you think about those particular things, that's a huge benefit to passengers or to employees who might work in one country and travel to another. But when you think about personalization, I mean, it doesn't work without it being proximate and available for the people who need it in that moment. And so if it's a reparation, that's one thing. If it's an incentive to do another thing, it's like those things have to be there for the reward to be effective. And lastly, you have to have the technology, you have to have the platforms in order to deliver it. And so we kind of think about those things equally.
Yeah, and picking up on the technology side, how are you leveraging technology to meet passenger expectations and stay ahead of the curve?
So when you're delivering monetary value like we are, we think about things like security. You absolutely have to deliver things in a secure way. You have to make it convenient. And so when we partner with our customers who have passengers or employees, you have to be able to give them one way to do things so that they don't have to worry about all of the different instruments of the monetary system. So we give them one API or one website to deal with. And so convenience really matters. And sort of lastly, choice, right? Choice really matters in technology. And so being able to give our customers the customization to be able to handle their specific use case in a very specific way so that their passengers or their employees feel taken care of.
Absolutely. And can you identify any of the major trends that you're seeing really influence the sector at the moment?
Sure. So we see, we talked about choice. We see a lot of that right now. It's no longer just fine to have your own rewards program or your own points program or your own employee recognition program that doesn't offer choice. So we see that as a big trend. We talked a little bit about security, right? So security is a big topic in monetary value right now. We feel like we deal with the compliance piece, we deal with the security piece for our customers, and so we think that's a big differentiator in the industry right now. And the last piece is regulation. There's a lot of regulatory conversations right now, especially in the U.S. The Department of Transportation just had a big announcement, and so we feel like there's a compliance piece to the airline sector that we can help with as well.
Absolutely. And then thinking about the event now, how do events like these help to drive innovation within the industry?
Oh, these are great opportunities for not just the people who are attending these, but also for the people who are here showcasing their wares. You learn from each other. You understand what's going on in different places. AI is a huge piece of what we'll be using as consumers, whether or not we're actually in the industry or not. We have AI in our support organization, and we use generative AI to help our customers support their customers. Well, I'm also noticing around here how much AI is being used to track things like people walking around tarmacs or inside of the buildings. And so sharing those stories inside the industry also helps people outside of the industry.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your insights.